Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99, and I put a tweet out last night. I've got the exclusive rights to this interview with two crypto titans. Yes, two crypto East Coast queens. I said it without stuttering. I'm talking about Rebecca and Laura Laura Taylor. I'm not giving away any cryptos.
Or accepting any.
Or So I appreciate the exclusive rights. And Rebecca, I didn't say this during the pre-interview, but I feel like my crypto family just grew by one tonight meeting you.
Aw,
Thank you.
So Laura's already in the club because I've interviewed her a few times. So what's going on the East Coast? Why should we care about Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? What's going on?
Well, we're here.
Things are happening here.
Yeah, it's been
starting.
it's been,
Well,
yeah, it's been
So for those of you that don't know, and you're so behind the times, Laura is a new resident of Pennsylvania. Am I correct?
You are correct, sir.
Do you
I'm
wanna-
in the Pittsburgh. Am I a yin, sir? I'm a
You're
yin,
in,
sir.
So, I'm not in Pittsburgh, but welcome to Pittsburgh. Did
I'm
they
happy she's in Pittsburgh.
Me too.
did they have like a parade for you, or
Not yet.
Yeah, I mean, I just got here a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Give them a week.
okay?
I'm sure it'll be something. There was a
Okay.
pickle thing
There was
today.
a pickle thing today.
I don't think it was for me, though. I do like pickles, but I don't think it was for me.
Okay, well, full disclosure, my geography of the East Coast is not the best. I need to look at where Maine, Vermont, New Jersey, and New York is when we're done with the interview. So,
Okay. So we're actually Western Pennsylvania, so we're closer to Ohio, so we're kind of mid-Atlantic, but I identify as an East Coaster.
And
okay.
I will identify as the East Coaster with her, just for like sister solidarity. So we're East Coast people.
There you go.
So
So,
there you go.
yeah, Laura, you discussed this a little bit or said this a little bit on the pre-interview. So when you moved to Pittsburgh, how did you guys connect? Was it like, did you know Rebecca through Twitter a little bit, or?
Yeah, so yeah, it just was one of those things where I was, I live on Twitter, and so I've been following Rebecca. And I really liked like her message,
Yes.
and just like her energy, and I had
Yes.
saw her viral video. That
Last
she
year.
did last year. I was actually watching it live stream and thinking, this lady is cool. And so I started following her, and then I don't know, I looked at her Twitter, profile, and it said she was in Pittsburgh, and I was just getting ready to move to Pittsburgh, and I was like, I need a Pittsburgh crypto friend. And so I DM'd her, and then
And of course,
magic
I was like, oh my
happened.
gosh, we're moving to
Yeah, and
Pittsburgh.
now we're like, we got somebody
You know what I'm talking about.
So we're pretty excited. I don't know if you can tell.
So
We're-
when you guys met, is it like the few people that I've met, like in my area, that like when you start talking cryptos, you feel like you've known them, maybe not your whole life, but
Yeah.
We
Oh my
had
God.
lunch together last
Okay.
weekend.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, and then her niece
Yeah.
and a friend of hers. And it's like we've known each other our whole life.
Yeah. Well, and then I said to her, because one of my sayings on the Digital Awareness team, if something goes wrong, I say, well, let's make some lemonade out of these lemons. And so when I was looking at her profile when we first started talking, and she said, I make lemonade. I was like, oh, do you have like a lemonade business? And she goes, oh no, it's just a saying I say. And I like flipped out. I'm like, showed her my t-shirt. I'm like, that's what I think too. So anyway, we got pretty excited. And yeah, last week we had lunch with my niece Katie is also on the core team with me for Digibyte. And she's local here. And my friend Val had flown up from Wilmington to visit, and she's a Pillar ambassador. So we all sat down and talked, and it was really, it was a great conversation.
It was wonderful.
Oh my
It went very
gosh.
fast, but I think we were there about an hour and a half.
Yeah. Well, my favorite was when the waitress comes up at the very end, and Rebecca goes, you don't know this, but there was just a crypto meetup here. And the waitress, what did she say?
She goes, I don't even know what that means.
And I-
We're like, you will.
Yeah.
You will, right.
You'll
You
see it
will.
later. So it was just, it's always fun to meet people in real life that,
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
that just see the same picture and are excited for the future. And honestly, Rebecca and I started talking before, because I was running a meetup in Wilmington, and so that meetup ended because I moved. And so, I really feel like that's just something I need to, be a part of, right? So I started looking for meetups here, and I really didn't see much organization of meetups. And so Rebecca and I started talking, and we're like, well, let's do one. Yeah. And so then it just it kind of exploded.
Yeah. So there's a great place on the north side of Pittsburgh where I live called Nova Place, and it's basically an incubator for a lot of technology and co-spaces. So I sent an email out to some friends, and they said there's a space for Northsiders that has everything you need for free. You just have to get on their calendar. So we have all the equipment we need. We have the space. We have free parking.
Oh, cut
and there's
it out.
a nice little restaurant right next to it.
So, we're shooting for. We're just waiting for the. I can't believe this is our lives. I mean, really, it's like crazy how it's working. So the space is awesome. What we wanted to do was to create a meetup that's just, community support, just education, ask questions, network. This first meetup, we just want to bring the community in and see what it is they need. Like, what are the levels that people are at that are coming in?
Okay.
Because it's without having something already existing, you just don't even know where everybody's at.
Okay, so hang on. So I want to make sure that everybody gets this. So I want to put a frame around this. So what you guys just said, and for the people that are listening, like, what did they just say? So you guys are going to start having monthly crypto meetups in, Rebecca, northern Pittsburgh?
The north side of Pittsburgh.
Okay,
which
the
is
north.
Basically downtown Pittsburgh, but off the Golden Triangle. It's just across the river.
Okay,
so it's
I'm sorry. So what would you say to somebody that's like, well, hey, I live close. Like, what type of, connect point with you guys or the meetup? Like, could they just find you on Twitter, or is that, the way that?
Absolutely.
Well, and once we have the date confirmed, then our meetup page will go live, and then people can find us on our meetup page, and then they can RSVP to the meetup, and of course, we're pretty active on social media, so it will be no secret. So the minute we have all those details, but we're hoping to have that done by early next week, so people can plan. But we're shooting for end of August for our first.
Cool. Okay, so I could say this after the other recording, but I'm thinking about it. I'll just throw this in now. After I post a video, can I put your guys' Twitter accounts in the heading of the video, like on YouTube? So if somebody needs to find you or get a hold of you or something.
Yeah. Thank you. Absolutely.
Okay. So I live in Pittsburgh. Let's say I come to the first meetup. Again, I know it's the first meetup. Like, am I bringing anything? Am I bringing a notebook? What do you like? What am I going to be speaking? What would you like for the participants to come and know? Like, hey, just relax. We're going to just take a head count and see who knows what.
Yeah, this first one we want to keep it pretty casual. I mean, we know a lot of people in the space, so we know we can bring people in to help educate. But this first one that we were just thinking, we want to bring the community in and kind of see where they're at, see what kind of questions they have, and then we can start planning, like, okay, who do we need? What were the big questions? Who do we need to try and bring in to educate? Because ultimately, we want to be able to use this time to, educate ourselves and educate our community. So I mean, it's always good to have a notebook. It's always good to have a notebook and pen. I'm a teacher, so I'll have that one. But it's going to be casual, and it's not, it's any knowledge level. You don't have to come in knowing anything, really. Because we really do want to see what are the questions people have, and how can we serve the community with this group. So. So it's going to be pretty casual, this first one, and then we're planning to have a little after party afterwards at the restaurant nearby. So, then that could be more of a networking event. So, being able to connect people and get them the resources they need in order to be successful in the space, and tap into some of these tools.
Sure. We talked about this a little bit. I don't want to act like I knew this for those of you that are viewing the interview, like, hey, how did he know that? We talked about this during the pre-interview, so I'm going to give you an easy softball question. Are there any sponsors you want to talk about? And if so, are you looking for any more?
Yeah, so this first one, our first meetup is going to be sponsored by the guys at Change Angel. And I reached out to them because, she's Litecoin and I'm a DigiByte. I almost said Bitcoin. I mean, not that I'm against Bitcoin.
You're DigiByte, remember?
I'm DigiByte. I need a pin. So she's Litecoin, I'm DigiByte. And so, the thing about Change Angel that we really like is their whole, premise is they're a community for communities.
Yeah.
And there's, they're a wall-to-wall swap exchange that supports these open, decentralized, non-ICO projects. I mean, and, turns, some of that funding back into the community. So they just are naturally wanting to support this sort of thing anyway. So I reached out to them and they were really excited, and they said, what do you need? And I said, well, ideally we like to have some education and marketing materials, things like that, like definition sheets to hand out. And
cool.
So they said, well, we'll sponsor that, or if you need to pay for a space, we'll help you with that. So they were really great and supportive. So they're going to be our first sponsor. And
thank you, Change Angel.
Yeah, thank you, Change Angel. And then there'll be, and you want to talk about Dan a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. So I've been talking with a gentleman named Dan Neal for a while. He has an organization, a foundation called Breakthrough Blockchain, and he is an educator. Works for Penn State University. He's an adjunct at ASU. He is very involved in the educational aspect and bringing more colleges and eventually high school students into the blockchain crypto space and bringing awareness and knowledge. And so he has several events coming up in conjunction with Penn State, Duke, and some other universities, and PIVX. And Dan's actually writing textbooks at the college level.
Whoa. He's
got a lot going on. So Dan and Laura, I introduced them, and so now the three of us are talking.
It's just been all this happened. I mean, my mind's exploding. It's so fun. Everything's so easy. Everybody's on the same page, trying to work in the same field. So it's fun. Yeah. So I'm really excited about working with Danny. I talked to him for about an hour the other day on the phone, and
he's a spitfire. He's got a lot of energy and really exciting. And he's, I think, revamping his website, which will be up soon with all the information. So we'll definitely need to get that information out as well.
Okay.
And I just see really great things happening.
I'm excited with what he's working on. So, and that just kind of integrates with what we're trying to do too. So it's and he's also in the Pittsburgh area, so we can support each other in our different initiatives, because they all kind of interconnect.
Yes.
And so so it's pretty exciting. I mean, really, I just can't believe that I've been here for 3 weeks, and
I know, and it's
we're doing I feel like I've known Rebecca for my entire life.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
That's great.
Fantastic.
So we did not talk about this during the pre-interview, so I may be putting you on the spot inadvertently. I don't mean to. Rebecca, is there anything about Litecoin or the Litecoin East Coast team or anything you want to talk about that? And then I'm going to turn it over to Laura. Is there anything about, again, the DigiByte awareness team or whatever that I'll just kind of open it up, however you want to answer that is fine.
Sure. So I've been involved in the crypto space, I guess, for several years, but never really outside of my home. It was more of something that my son and I talked about.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was something that very much interests me, and I started learning a lot, and then found crypto Twitter. So I actually was really interested in Litecoin as opposed to Bitcoin for whatever fascination I had with. I thought Charlie Lee seemed like a very stand-up type of guy, and it intrigued me to understand how Litecoin came from Bitcoin. So that's sort of how my education process started. And then I really started talking to a lot of people like John Kim, John Moore, Red Cat.
Yeah.
And some people, and then I did the video last year at the food festival, or the Deutschtown Music Festival that we had, and that sort of went crazy. And then from there, John Kim asked me if I wanted to be on the Litecoin team, the East Coast team. And so then we all just sort of started bouncing ideas off each other, and over the last year, it's just exponentially grown into something that I'm really proud of. Yeah. And it feels as if, I know I'm on Twitter a lot, I'm having fun, but I feel like I'm finally getting to the space where I can get into the educational aspect of it. I know a lot of people, we can talk to a lot of people, and I want to see us move forward, not just talk about things constantly and, goofy kind of stuff. I want to see the progression. And as Laura said, one of her videos that she did with you and one of her students. And I love just the whole educational aspect of it to me, and the charity side of it where you can make a difference really speaks to me. So Litecoin has given me that opportunity, but the networking that we've been doing is all just sort of blossoming now, and I'm really very excited about what's going to be happening.
And they've got the summit coming up.
And then the summit, So, and the summit, I didn't get to go to the first one last year, but I will be volunteering this year. It's in Las Vegas on October 28th and 29th. And it's also coincides with World CryptoCon. The whole week is dedicated to crypto and blockchain. So I'm going to be there, and the tickets are still reasonable at this point. I mean, they're going to be reasonable at any point. It's not like a consensus ticket. They're $250, and the people that are going to be there, I'm just super excited to meet so many of them. I got a chance to meet a whole bunch of people from the East Coast. A couple weeks ago, I went to one of the meetups there, and it was, again, just like, oh my gosh, I know everybody. But I look forward to the keynote speaker, to hear Charlie Lee speak, and Caitlin, is it Caitlin Long from Wyoming?
Oh my gosh, she's going to be there.
Yes.
I love her.
I just want to keep learning so that I can keep giving people more information, and I want to keep riding this out with everyone.
Now, are you still looking for sponsors?
We are looking for sponsors.
Okay.
I am in touch with several different people. We have a huge spreadsheet filled with organizations and foundations and whatnot. We have Change Angels, actually, one of the sponsors. So there are some coming in, but if anybody is interested, please reach out to me, because I think it's just going to be a fantastic, intimate, and very personal experience that you'll get to meet a lot of really great people and talk about your product or your business.
Wow, that's great, Rebecca.
Super excited for it.
Cool. LT, what's up? What's going on? What's up?
Okay, so what's going on with tonight? Well, there's a lot. The big thing that there's a couple big things technically speaking that I'm really excited about is one is we have the DGID standalone apps are now on iOS and Android. We've got two versions. We've got one that was built by Matthew and one that was built by Noah. And so you can check those out. Noah is a simple, so you don't have to put in your code, your secret, your private key is on the cloud. And with Matthew's, it's not. It's like a traditional, typical wallet type of private key. But the big deal, too, is that we have been working for a while now to get the WordPress plugin finished for the DGID. It's done now. So if you just have a regular website and you want an alternate login option for your people, you can use the WordPress plugin, and then if somebody has DGID, they can use that to log into the site. So it is another layer of security. It's very different than what we've had before. And Change Angel, we keep talking about Change Angel. Change Angel sponsored this commercial. But they actually were one of the first sites to implement it. It was, the guys from the awareness team that built that swap exchange. One of the reasons was for a use case for DigiID and Anthem ID. So you can, if you want to check it out and see what that's like, you can log into their site and using that. And it's every time I use it, honestly, I'm just like, what? It worked. It's crazy because it's so fast and it's so easy and so secure. So we've got that going on. That was pretty exciting. The other thing was, we have 5 mining algorithms, and we switched out one of the mining algorithms with a new one called Autocrypt. And Autocrypt is every 10 days, it changes I want to say it changes the algorithm. I might not be saying it exactly right, but I can give you a link to some of that information.
Sure.
But it's a way to make it ASIC resistant, and and kind of bring it back to the hobby miners. So it's just, it's pretty exciting. And I just really want to say thank you to all the community that came together, because that's a hard fork of a chain that normally when a chain hard forks, you end up with like Bitcoin Cash. Like for a chain to hard fork and it's not contentious, it means everybody had to come together, work together, and integrate that change together. And they did a beautiful job.
Wow.
We're on, over 100 exchanges, and those exchanges all had to update their systems for this hard fork. And so we had guys on our team, Nigel and Rutger were like 2 of the main ones I know that were reaching out. Glenn, they were reaching out directly to these exchanges and getting them to update and giving them, support. So that is, tons of work for them to do that, not to mention the developers creating Autocrypt, the miners coming together to do the fork. So it's just, as a whole, I was just super duper proud of our community for pulling that together, because that really is a pretty big milestone for a chain to do a hard fork like that. And so, yeah, I'm super proud of that. So we've got that going on. We also have now Dandelion, which is, it's not a private, it masks your IP address. So it's not like Monero, but it does, it's a way to keep you more secure when you're working on the network. So we've got a couple of things technologically that have happened over the last bit since the last time I talked with you. So it's all super exciting.
That's
and
cool.
Then I don't know if I've talked to you since DigiByte Unlimited came on the scene.
No, do tell. Do tell.
Oh my gosh. So these guys, unbelievable. Amon King, was a community member and seeing, we need help with this and this and this for marketing. So he created another group, kind of like the awareness team, called DigiByte Unlimited, and they create commercials, education materials. They created like a PowerPoint video or a PowerPoint slideshow for anybody who wants to go to a meetup and they're like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say, it's a lot of work. Boom, there's a package thing that they built for anybody in the community that can go to a meetup and present. So they're just an amazing group of people, also volunteer. So, they're a great group to support, and we work in tandem with them on a lot of projects, and just really, I enjoy their work, and great group of guys. So everybody kind of working towards that same goal. So yeah, our community is growing, our technology is growing. So DigiByte as a whole, I'm really super, excited about the community, excited about the project. Now we've got a meetup.
I know. So
I can't believe it.
Let me jump in here.
I like that it's the two communities working together on the meetup. I mean,
what a concept,
really
huh?
exciting.
What a concept. Teamwork, unity, what a concept. So I'm going to jump in here for a minute, and then I always end the interview with having the person or persons I'm interviewing have the last word, whatever they're thinking about that they want to get in. Let me kind of. So, well, here, hang on. So I want to pay you guys a compliment, and I don't know if you want to be encouraged. Hopefully this will encourage you.
Don't encourage me.
Don't encourage me.
Don't you dare encourage me,
Don't
John.
you do that. So I kind of view you guys, and I really mean this, and this is going to be like a word picture, kind of like a collage, maybe not a collage, but like a word picture of what I see going on seriously the past couple years in the crypto community. And as an example, one of my son-in-laws, not that many years ago, he has a job, but as a hobby, more than a hobby, he was a violin player in the Des Moines Symphony Orchestra. So, which is all new to me, right? So we would go drive to Des Moines, Iowa, and listen to the symphony, and and when I left the symphony, I never really said, "Hey, those drums really caught my attention," or "the oboe really caught my attention," or the percussion section. But I remembered the music together. Seriously, I remembered the music and some of the songs and how beautiful it was. And back to you guys, I'm not going to encourage you, but you guys are kind of like work with me, kind of like your own little orchestra. You've got different instruments, and whether it's an oboe or a little triangle that you're ding, 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 or whether you're the conductor, everybody just kind of plays their own instrument, and it's different. Some are bigger than others, louder than others. You need maybe more training, but when we put all our instruments together, it's like an orchestra. So whether someone's watching this going, well, I'm not like Laura, I'm not like Rebecca, I can't be used, that's for the YouTube people, that's for the Twitter people. I just say, the other example I use, I'm like, it's just like a big, bonfire. Just bring your log and throw it on the fire. Whatever. You got a twig, give me a twig. You got a piece of newspaper, throw it on the fire, and let's let this thing grow. Wasn't that awesome? Wasn't that so encouraging?
That great analogy. That was really good, actually. That was really good. And I think you're right. I think that is a really good message that, first of all, like, there's nothing really that special. I mean, we're, pretty awesome. No, but I mean, like, we don't have anything. We're just normal people that just happen to get into the space. Yeah. So I think everybody has their own little superpower. And you just tap into what you love to do. Some people love to write, I mean, everybody can use writers. Some people like to do graphics. Some people like to, talk and, talk in public, and they want to go to meetups. That's a great thing. So everybody has something they can give, Absolutely.
So Rebecca, I'll let you kind of end it. Is there anything just kind of off the top of your head, you're like, oh, I want to get one more plug-in for this, or I want to share, one more story? How would you like to end your first interview with a major YouTube influencer like myself?
Well, I don't have any more plugs. I'd like to thank you for having me and Laura here. It was very kind of you and kind of Laura. Laura actually asked me if I would.
You're welcome.
You bet.
Well, I was like, hey, we need to talk. We need to tell people what we're doing down here.
But that brings me to if you talk to any of the people on the East Coast team, they all kind of live. A lot of them live close to each other, close enough. They can go to dinner. They can do things. Over the last year of just somebody visit me. Somebody please come and see me. I don't have anyone to talk to. My husband doesn't want to hear about this stuff anymore. And so when Laura reached out to me, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is really cool. I didn't really know something was going to come of it. I thought, oh, cool, this woman's moving to Pittsburgh. Yeah, sure, we'll meet up. And then it just happened. And then over the last 2 weeks, so many things have seemed to come together.
That's wild.
So I'm just so excited about what we can do and to bring more people from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is this huge technological city. We have Google, we have Amazon, we have so much here. But we don't have these meetups. And I think as far as the two of us and our openness and our personalities, I don't want it to be scary. I want to just talk about things and find out what people are interested in. And
you never know, like, we could have, like, this is our first layer, and there could be other meetups that shoot out from this one that are specific to beginners or intermediates or, business oriented. So, we're just, we're excited for the opportunity, and I think it will definitely grow.
Yeah, absolutely. So I see a great future, and I think we're going to do some cool stuff.
And we're going to be obnoxious on Twitter once we get started.
Well, I'm going to end this going in alphabetical order. Laura Taylor, good to see you again. Rebecca, thanks again. When Laura told me that you would be on the call, I was like, hot diggity dog.
He was pretty excited.
And I saw your tweet. That was so cute. You said last night, I've arrived. I made it to the big time. Okay, don't you forget who interviewed you first. Okay, for the big time.
He interviewed me first too.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
I'm that guy.
I appreciate it.
But anyhow, no, good to see you guys again. Rebecca, nice to meet you in person. I really mean that. And I want to hear more good stuff coming out of Pittsburgh. And again, Laura, like, you know what I'm going to say. Whenever you guys got something to say, give me a holler, really.
Knocking on that door.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.